Hello, my name's Ansley. I've been a guitar teacher for 15 years now. I've taught hundreds of people. Um, I've been asked by Lingfield Living Local to do a guitar lesson, a tutorial in absolute beginners. So, what's a beginner? What's an absolute beginner? Um, a beginner is someone who knows a little bit, knows how to hold a guitar, how to play a couple of chords, but are unsure how to go from there. An absolute beginner is someone that's never picked up a guitar. Um, and if they have, it's just to, make a sound, and then it gets put down. So if you're in that category, you own a guitar, you bought a guitar for somebody, and it's just been gathering dust, then you're exactly the right person. So, absolute beginner. So, let me just imagine that you've never heard music, you have never seen a guitar before. I'll just quickly go over a bit of terminology and explain about guitar, and then try and condense what it is that you're trying to do to get to the first hurdle. Because as soon as you get to that first hurdle, then it's like a tree. The roots are that you're learning what to do on a guitar, and then it expands into the branches, and it can go in any different direction depending on what you want to do and what you know, and what you want to try and do. So, okay, so this is a guitar. Body, neck, these are the strings, sound hole, this is the bridge, this little plastic bit's called the nut, this is the headstock, these are the tuning pegs, and it's strings bridged over this nut and the bridge, and it's got a particular distance that when it's tuned, it makes a note. And the idea is that you push your fingers down between the frets, which are the metal lines. And if you push in between the metal lines, it shortens the string between this point here and the bridge. And if you strum it, that makes a sound. And then if you move your finger to a different point, it will shorten or lengthen the string. So if you move it up, it makes a different note because the string's shorter. Okay, so what was I doing there? Using the tip of my finger, I was pushing the string into the gap between the two metal frets, right in the center, pushing down as hard as I can. And then with my other hand, you can use any finger, but thumb to start with. Push it down with your left hand, and then get your thumb against it and just pop it. That makes a note. There we go. You do it. Okay. So, I am going to do this really quickly just because I've only got a finite amount of time. So let me just crack on. And so strumming the guitar. You can either use your thumb, or you can use your first finger, kind of like a hook, and you use the nail side. Or you can use a plectrum, which is a little plasticky teardrop shape that you just hold between your thumb and your first finger. It's not important exactly how you have it now, and I mean it's different for everyone, but and then you. But for the purpose of starting, I would just use my first finger, like stroking a cat. Stroke. You just stroke. Okay, so strumming done. There are things called beats. It's the pulse of the music. So if you're listening to any music, it will normally have an even pulse, like a tap dripping, like a clock ticking, same distance in terms of time. They're the beats. Okay, we divide them into 4 because it's easier to remember 4. I mean, you could divide them into larger numbers or smaller numbers, but 4 is the correct one you want to have to start with, at least. Most music, 90% of music is in 4/4. Don't worry what that means. The first number 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so any examples I give you is going to have a counting of 1, 2, 3, 4 before we start. What that does is that gets you used to the tempo. The tempo is the distance between the beats. Slower tempo, faster tempo. Okay, so it gets you used to that before we start any exercise. So you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Count with me. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's the grid or the beats or what we would play to as a musician. So you hear a drummer 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just to get everyone ready for the first beat. So we're all playing at the same time. Because if we just went right, go, we would we'd all be playing at different timing. Until you get used to what everyone's doing, and then you'll merge into each other. Okay, so now it's divided into bars. That's the number 4. That's what that means. So like we would do 1 bar, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 bars would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 bars. So 4 bars would be 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4. 4 bars. 1 bar is what? 4 beats. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do some strumming with that. Okay. Don't worry about what your left hand's doing, because that does all the changing of the notes and shortening of the strings and all of that kind of good stuff. But it's this one that makes the noise. Your right hand, your strumming hand. So I would like to, let's clap it first, actually. Let's not do, so you ready? I'll give you a 4 count in, and then I want you to clap along with me, and I want you to do 1 bar. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right. Do it again with me. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's do 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Why are we clapping? Because it's easier than playing guitar. And then we'll just do the same premise. 2 bars of just strumming open. So like, you can rest that, or you can have it there, or you can grab a cup of tea, while you're doing it. So all we're going to do is go from the top of the string to the bottom strings, all 6, to be roughly at the same time. Obviously moving from here to here, there's a da 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 da. But if you do it like that, it sounds like they're all being played at the same time. So you ready? Let's do 1 bar. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And then you stop the noise by putting your hand on the strings. There you go. No more vibration. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in its simplest, that was you playing the guitar in time. So 2 bars you played on the guitar. Not very exciting, not very thrilling, but this is the foundation. You start from the foundations and then you build upon that. And every time you learn a new thing, you're adding it to, like, imagine you've got a little rucksack and you're filling it full of techniques. And then as soon as you filled your bag full of techniques, then you use those techniques in order to play a song. So learning guitar and learning songs are 2 different things. In order to play the songs, you need to learn all the skills and all the tricks and all the things. Right, okay, so we've got in our bag strumming and we know bars. So, one more time, just to make sure we're doing it. If I'm moving too quick, you can rewind it, obviously, and you can pause it. I will be putting up some chord sheets. So from this point onwards, I'm going to be going a bit quicker. Normally, I would do this over a 2-hour kind of thing, or I would do a private lesson, and we would kind of go over it and chat about it, and we look at all the kind of things. But this is a taster, and I've already killed half of the time I'm supposed to be doing. So let's do it pretty quick, just because there will be some beginners who know this already. So let's just go through it. Right, from this point onwards, let's go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smashed it. Right. Okay, so let's look at chords. Right, let me show you a thing, a chord box. This is what it looks like. Don't worry. What that is a representation of the top of my guitar. Okay, so each of these lines downwards are your strings. Starting with the thickest to the thinnest string. Okay, I should get more technical than this, but if we're doing private lessons, if we're taking our time and have more time, then we'll dissect it more than that. So thickest to thinnest strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same as on your guitar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the plastic bit on your guitar, the nut, is this double line. So what that says is that is the plastic bit. See? And then these 1, 2, 3 lines are the frets. You see on my guitar? 1, 2, 3. So the 6 strings, the nut, and then the frets, okay? And that's blank right now because there's nothing on it. So let me show you a chord. This is the first chord, E chord. Don't worry about why it's an E, what that means, but the difference between the blank chord book and this one is that it has dots on it, okay? The black dots are where you put your fingers. The numbers at the bottom are which finger you use. So your index finger is 1. This is on your left hand. Don't worry about your strumming hand because we've done that. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 4, it's not going to get used yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, awesome. These ones have different names, but you don't need to know that yet. Geek Police, T for thumb, index, middle, ring, don't use it, little one. Pinky, whatever. Okay, so how'd you get from that to that? Okay, so you'll see at the bottom, number 1. Okay. Oh, the other thing to note is that these open ones that aren't solid black mean open strings. So you play those strings, but you don't put any fingers on it. So the thickest string here, that's got no fingers on it. This one is on the 2nd fret. 1st fret, 2nd fret. See, because that's the 1st space, that's the 2nd space, that's the 3rd space. So The distance between is called a fret, but also the metal line in the middle is also called a fret. So don't worry. Second finger on the second string, or rather second thickest. They are actually numbered from in reverse: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But let's not do this. Let's save that for the private lessons, eh? So you'll have one finger here, one finger there, and one finger here. So how does that look? So with the tips of your fingers, the thickest string, nothing on it. It's a 0. This one, second fret, with your second finger, because it says it at the bottom, 2, goes on the second fret of your guitar. So like that. I don't know if you can see that as well. Let's get in a bit. Third finger, which is this one, is on the same fret. So that goes here, just here. Nothing, second fret, and then you want your first finger, and that goes here. First finger on the first fret, and when you push it, you want to be in the center. The closer, right, if you can imagine that this is like a space. This is the front area, that's the middle, and that's the back. Let's not worry about why, but if you're in the middle and you push, it should make a nice note. Pick that. Okay, so first finger, second finger on the second fret. Let's do this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first string, there's nothing on it. Second string, there's nothing on it. Third string from the bottom is first fret. You push that in. Second finger goes on the second fret of the fifth string, which is this one. Fifth from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then your third finger goes in that little gap. Still on the second fret. So it's hard to see with this. Let me get there. There we go. First fret, second finger, second fret, and that one squeezes in there. Don't worry about this one not being in the middle because it's at the front of the fret. If it's at the front of the fret, which is that's the middle, that's the back, that's the front. Okay, it's still behind the metal bit. So if you've got it right, and you also need to curl your hand round in order to get use the tip of your fingers, tip of your finger, tip of your finger, tip of your finger. And if you do it right, you should have your fingers not in the way of the other strings. Just to check that they're working all right. If you've not got it pressed down enough, it will sound like this. All you need to do is have your finger in the middle or towards the front of the fret, and it should sort that out. If it doesn't sound right, and it will sound like that, it really will for a long time. Just move it into the fret, push harder, and then your next string, but it might sound like that, and that could be that one of your other fingers are in the way, or that you're not pushing hard enough with your first finger, or you're not in the middle of the fret. It'll be one of those three things. Finger in the way, not in the middle of the fret, and you aren't pushing hard enough. But eventually, test each note. That one might sound like that because your first finger's in the way of it. Just arch your finger more. Get it out of the way of the other string. It's kind of hard to see, I'm sure. And this one might sound like that because you've got this part of your hand in the way. But imagine when you push down on the fret, imagine that you're squeezing a bug between your fingers. Squeeze that bug, and your thumb is behind the neck, and that's pushing onto the fret. Squeeze that bug, and that should be enough pressure. You know, guitar is one of the hardest instruments ever to learn, but like, this is what being an absolute beginner is. You know, when I think of beginner, this is what I think of beginner. Most people that can play chords already, oh, but I don't know what to do. It's like riding a bike. You know how to ride the bike a bit, you know. Yeah, I mean, you're not jumping off ramps and going 40 miles an hour and, you know, overtaking cars and stuff like that. But you know how to ride a bike, but you just don't know where to go. Same with guitar. You know, your bag's full of all of the things that you need to do, but I just don't know what to do with it. So this is learning to play guitar, learning how to make a sound on a guitar that sounds okay. You know, for a long time it's going to sound like this. Why is it sounding like that? Each finger, use the tip of your finger, curl your finger a little bit, squeeze that bug, get nice pressure, be in the center of the fret, make sure that there are no other fingers in the way, and you'll generate a nice noise. It's not like a drum. You know, you hit a drum, boom, boom. You know, it sounds like a drum, boom, okay, boom, yeah, boom. You know, keyboards, you push it, it sounds nice, or a piano, ding, nice note, you just don't know what to do with it. Guitar, it's not like that. You know, you have to make it sound nice. That's why it's hard, is because, you know, your other fingers get in the way, you're not pushing it correctly, you know, you haven't got like a nice enough guitar, you know, you haven't got the strength in your fingers, you know, one finger's in the way, you know, you're not pushing it in the right area. So, second fret with your second finger on the fifth string. The third finger, second fret again. First finger, sorry, of the fourth string. First finger, first fret, third string. Remember, they get in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as soon as you have them all, then you apply your strumming. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars, right? Hand on there, stop the vibration. Let's do a faster tempo. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, don't let go of that chord. Just stop it. Slower tempo. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is the most basic guitar there. Strumming, bars are 4. The beats, there's 4 of them in a bar, and how many bars you do is up to you. Normally it's like 2 or 4 or 8, any division like that, you know, a nice even number. 4 beats, 4 bars, first chord. So let's just do this really quickly. E chord, right? There's another chord, E minor. All you need to do, the difference between the two, is that you take your first finger off here. Sorry, I'm doing this in reverse and looking in the camera to try and look at it. You just take that finger off, and now it becomes an open 0. So you still play the string, but it's got no finger on it. So, have a quick look at that. You're just going to take your first finger off. So let's do 2 bars with E, starting with the chord that you know. And then we take the finger off and then do E minor for 2 bars. Right? So, you know, back on it, you've rewound it, you've gone over it, you know, you've ironed out why it sounds good or sounds bad. Ready? So that's your E, and then you just lift your first finger off, that's E minor. Okay, it sounds different. I'm not going to go into why majors, minors, and stuff like that. One's happy, one's sad. You know, that's it. Happy, finger off. Now it sounds a bit sad. Okay, so 2 bars. 1, 2 of each chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 bar. 1. Then we're going to take the finger off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Okay, I mean, if you're getting this far and you're actually, and it's sounding like how it's sounding there, you know, I mean, you've come a long way. You know, this takes weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of going over it and repeating it and practicing it and stuff. I'm just trying to do this pretty quickly. So let's do E to E minor, which is finger off, back to E, which is finger back on, and then E minor, finger off. And that's covered on these patterns. Don't worry about the other ones. They're quite advanced and stuff, but they're ones that we're going to work to, and I'm going to show you the chords. So E to E minor to E to E minor. Let's do 2 bars of each. I know it's like boring and it's, you know, it seems like it's going on forever, but like, you know, you need to take your time over this. Okay, ready? E, take your finger off, finger back on, finger off. Okay, 2 bars of each. 2 bars, 2 bars, 2 bars, 2 bars. So that's 8 strums per thing. Don't worry about all that kind of stuff. 2 bars is all you need to know. Each bar is 4 strums. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger off. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Finger back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And finger off again. E minor. 2, 3, 4. Last bar 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it ring a bit. Put your hand on top of it. Stops the note. Good. Ordinarily, like if I was giving you a private lesson, I would say, let's do it again. Make sure it wasn't a fluke, you know, all that kind of thing. But time's against us. So, okay, so E and E minor done. A minor. Okay, the difference here is that there's an X on one of the strings, which means you don't play that string. So that's the 6th string, thickest string. Don't play that one. So all you do in order to not play it is you just don't start at the top. You go a little bit lower and you strum the bottom 5 strings. Okay. You'll notice that A minor and E share a similar shape. All you're doing, this one, is that you're moving all of your fingers down a set of strings. So, so E, so it's E, and what you're doing is you're starting with your sequentially. I would walk them down from the closest to your face, or the top and bottom. I mean, it's different. You know, there's lots of different terminologies, but just for here and now. So you move your 2nd finger down. You walk it down to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Then you move this finger down, and that goes to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Then this 1st finger moves down from the 3rd string to the 2nd string. Okay? That's our new chord, A minor. That's because we're missing the top string, because it's not in the chord. Don't worry why. So we start from the 2nd string. We use your 1st finger, your plectrum or whatever. So E, walk it down, move that one down, move that one down, move that one down, and it's the same frets, same positioning, same pushing. It's just they've all moved downwards towards the floor, down a set of strings. So E, down, down, down. A minor. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, anyone that's just picked up the guitar, you will be going back to the old lessons and trying that stuff and just going over and over that. Do this one as soon as you've kind of got that other one. You know, jump in straight to this. You're going to go, you know, this is 10 week course that I normally do that's condensed into like half an hour. Okay, ready? E, and then we're going to walk it down. Okay? 2 bars of each. E, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, awesome. Notice that I did it really quickly. I went, that's practice. But you will try to maintain the strumming whilst moving your fingers down, like this. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2. Right, and then I'm going to start moving them down. So it's one end. Okay, it doesn't sound very nice at first, but you're just trying to do it whilst not stopping strumming, you know, because the idea is that everyone is playing in time with that, and some people can do it faster than others, especially when I'm doing a group. I just say keep strumming even though your brain knows that I'm not playing the correct chords, you know, because you don't want to do this, which is, and then you go to change and then you're like, oh no, I have to put that one in there, and then I put that one in there, and then I put that one in. Right, now I'm allowed to strum. Because that stops everyone else. Even if you're playing the chord wrong, you just want to keep strumming and change whilst you're doing it. So let's do 1 bar, just for the, you know, just because ordinarily I'd go over this a lot more with you and do it at the pace that you need it. But let's do 1 bar, and I'll show you me changing the chords one by one. 3, 4. Just 1 bar. 3, 4. The reason I do 8 strums is because you've got more time to change. You know, that was pretty quick. This is how it's supposed to sound in the finish as soon as you get used to it. So 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Back. Just keep going. Okay, that's what you're working towards. So going back from A minor to E, you would just walk them back up, like watch, move that one up, move that one up, move that one up, while still strumming at the same time. So, and then you would walk that one down, that one down. You know, the reason we don't do it 1, 2, 3 in terms of fingers is that it's easy to get confused. As soon as you move in it, you move 1 and then you move, that's 2 and then that's 3 and stuff. Whereas if you do it from top down, you know that string doesn't need changing, that finger needs moving, that one needs moving, and then that one needs moving. If you've got 2 fingers on the same fret and you think you're in the final position, you're not. It should only ever be 1 finger on any string at any one point when playing chords. All right. Okay, look, I'm going to have to wrap this video up and stuff. I do private lessons. I can probably do more of these sessions on the Lingfield Living Local page. But sadly, there's just not enough time in the day. So let me just quickly give you some chords. So, E. That was our first chord. You can pause these, obviously, and have a look and get them, you know, and you can strum them and just do them on their own. A minor. Then we've got, this one's an A. So 1, 2, 3. Remember to miss the top string with an X. And then we've got a D chord. So this one you have to miss the top 2 strings. Okay. Battery's running out on my laptop as well. So C chord, this one's a tricky one. I mean, the D's and the C's and the G's I would avoid, you know, at first until you're a better player. Okay, the chord police will know that there's an extra dot there, but as you're starting, I would add that one in because it sounds better. It's what my guitar teacher taught me on my first guitar lesson. Just do that because that's what everyone does. Sounds better. Okay, so again, you can pause this. This one at the bottom is, it's pretty advanced. I mean, if you can, well, not advanced, but it's certainly not absolute beginner. So here they are: E to E minor, E to E minor, and you can repeat them, go back and forwards. That's the one that we did, the second one. Same again. Learn that other A, E to A to D is quite a common one. E to A to D, back to A, back to E, A, D, A, and it's like it's back and forwards. This one's a nice one. Loads of cool songs are in E minor and C. Just going back and forward between them sounds really nice. 7. If you can do that, then you're doing good. That's the end goal. Let me play you that one. E minor, C, G, and D. Okay, let's do it with some different strums. Sadly, I've run out of time. I could do this all day. I love doing it. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, then hopefully I'll see you again. But any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll try and reply. If not, my wife Kate will reply. If anyone wants private lessons, feel free to message me. Any ideas? I don't know. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Stop going out. And we'll all get through this. And I'll see you soon. Nice to meet you. Take care.